I recently did a video where I shared a press release document about the new travel requirements for traveling to Ghana. Since then, the Ghanaian authorities have provided a more detailed documentation on the updated COVID-19 guidelines for Kotoka International Airport. Effective from the 14th of December 2021 at 0000 hours UTC. This documentation is very, very detailed. As such, I will ensure to create chapters so that you can easily navigate to the segment or to the particular part that interests you. This video is a must watch simply because it provides step by step every single thing an international traveler traveling to Ghana needs to know and do even before they arrive in Ghana. If it's your first time here, my name is Sassy Funke and I'm a Nigerian travel and lifestyle content creator, really creating to help travelers travel better and smarter. If this is something that you would benefit from, please ensure to hit that big red subscribe down below and also give this video a huge thumbs up. So let's get straight into this video and into this guidelines, right? So I'm going to be reading it out and just sharing the information there for you, and let's get straight into it. It states here, this is from the Ghana Airports Company Limited. That's the brand that is on there. It says updated COVID-19 protocols for Kotoka International Airport, KIA, revision 8. And it's saying this document is effective from the 14th of December 2021 at 0000 hours UTC, right? So UTC time is, I believe, the Ghana time. That's the universal time. I believe it's the time in Ghana right now. That's the time. So from midnight in the morning, right, of the 14th, that's when it's valid. Okay, let's go to the first section. It says, first, pre-arrival processes, travelers intending to enter Ghana. So these are the things that you have to do before you actually arrive in Ghana, right? So it states, all international passengers, including those from the ECOWAS region, intending to fly to Ghana will be required to meet the following health requirements prior to admission into Ghana, right? So it specifically says that international travelers, even those from this ECOWAS Western region like Nigeria, you also need to follow this guidelines. And yeah, so it's important to know that. It's important to know that. It goes A, for passengers who already have a PANA BIOS account, enter the country of origin and set the destination to Ghana on the specific website. That's the trustedtravel.panabios.org or on the UNDP endorsed Global Haven site, www.globalhaven.org, right? It then says B, passengers who do not have an account should create an account on the AU endorsed site. That's the trustedtravel.panabios.org. So you have to create a profile on that specific website. It then says passengers are advised to only visit a TT laboratory. If there are none close to you, take another test at another accredited lab on the PanaBios or Global Haven Labs registry. Essentially, they're advising you to only book via some specific labs, right, in your country, and you can probably find that information on those platforms. D, it states, if you take your test at a TT lab, give lab the same email address used to open your account. The result will automatically deliver to your account bearing a TT code, right? E, ensure that the test is conducted within 72 hours before the scheduled departure time from the country of origin, right? So this is important again, 72 hours before your boarding time from your first point of departure, especially if you're transiting, 72 hours, this is what they mean there. F, if you do not visit a TT lab, upload your test results or test certificate by choosing test taken at a non-TT lab option. G, the result certificate will be immediately analyzed. If the test result issued satisfies the full requirements set by Ghana, validity period or test type, a travel code, a TC, will be issued to the traveler online and the result displayed in a few minutes as evidence that the tests performed is still valid at the time of travel, right? It then goes on to state in sort of bold, Whilst the TT code confirms that a test was performed by an accredited laboratory, the TC provides additional evidence that the test performed is still valid at the time of the start of travel. So the TC code is important. The next section then talks about arriving passengers, travelers entering Ghana. It says A, and this is actually boldly, well, not bold, it's highlighted in red, which means it's extremely important, right? It states, A, all persons 18 years and above arriving in Ghana will be required to provide evidence of full vaccination for a COVID-19 vaccine at the point of embarkation, right? So at the point at which you're trying to board your flight, you need to provide evidence of your full vaccination of COVID-19. It then goes on to explain what exactly is the definition of fully vaccinated. It states, a person is said to be fully vaccinated when, 1, he or she has taken the full dose or doses of vaccines approved and registered by the Food and Drug Authority, FDA, Ghana, right? 2, he or she has taken the full dose of vaccines that are on the World Health Organization emergency use listing, right? It then goes on to say that, however, persons who are vaccinated with vaccines on WHO emergency use listing but not registered with the FDA Ghana for emergency use authorization will be offered one of the FDA Ghana approved vaccines on arrival at the airport. So what they're saying specifically here is that you need to have be fully vaccinated with the approved vaccines registered and approved by the FDA in Ghana. If not, if for example you've taken one that is on the WHO emergency use listing, they're going to vaccinate you at the airport. That's what they're saying. B, all unvaccinated Ghanaians and residents of Ghana who are currently outside of the country and intend to return within 14 days from midnight, I guess early morning of the 14th of December 2021 are exempted. And they're basically letting you know you're exempted from the 14th to the 28th of December 2021. It then goes on to say, though, that they would, however, be vaccinated on arrival at the airport. I know many of you guys are like in uproar about this. Like, why would they force vaccination for, that's a whole different conversation. But you are going to be vaccinated if you decide to come to Ghana unvaccinated or with an unapproved FDA Ghana vaccine. C, airlines that bring passengers to Kotoka International Airport who are not fully vaccinated shall be surcharged $3,500 per passenger. So Ghana is saying that if you bring someone that is not fully vaccinated, right, and I guess that is not exempted from the vaccination for the next 2 weeks, the specific 2 weeks that they've given Ghanaian nationals and residents, they're going to charge the airline $3,500. That's a lot of money. It also goes on to say that all passengers are required to present evidence of having filled the Ghana Health Declaration form at ghs.hdf.org at the point of embarkation. So it's saying that you need to fill this declaration form before you board your flight, and you have to present it, right, before you board your flight to Ghana. E says, airlines that bring passengers to Kotoka International Airport who had not filled the HDF shall be surcharged to $3,500 per passengers. Wow, they're basically saying that, forget about if the airline brings someone that's not fully vaccinated, that's 3,500. If they also bring people that are not, that have not filled the form, another 3,500, essentially potentially charging airlines $7,000 per passengers if they fail to adhere by these two rules. I guess they're trying to put the pressure on airlines to ensure that they actually check this documentation properly, right? So that's intense. So I guess the airlines will be doing their job at this rate, because how much did the person pay for the ticket for them to be charging, a penalty of $7,000 potentially? It then goes on to say, F, passengers must not have symptoms suggestive of COVID-19, including a body temperature of greater than 38 degrees centigrade. G, passengers must possess a COVID-19 negative PCR test from an accredited lab in the country of origin. The test should have been done not more than 72 hours before the scheduled departure time from the country of origin. Airlines who board passengers without the PCR test results or transports and disembark passengers with positive PCR test results into Accra will be fined $3,500 per passenger. Okay, so it then goes on to state these 2 points. It said first, non-Ghanaians may be refused entry and returned to the point of embarkation at the cost of the airline, right? It also then states that Ghanaians will be allowed entry, but subject to a 14-day of mandatory quarantine at a designated facility. Point I, arriving passengers will undergo temperature screening. J, Ghanaian residents who depart Ghana and return within 1 week will not be required to present a COVID-19 result from the country of departure. They would, however, undergo mandatory COVID-19 testing upon arrival in Ghana. What they're trying to state here is that if you're a Ghanaian resident and you basically like leave Ghana and you come back within 1 week, you don't have to do a pre-departure test, but you have to do a mandatory COVID testing at the airports, right? K, this is very, very important, right? Passengers will be subjected to a mandatory COVID-19 test at the airport terminal at a cost to be borne by the passengers, as indicated below. So many of you probably already know this, that you have to test at the airport in Ghana, all travelers, right? It goes on to say the price. If you're a Ghanaian citizen or an ECOWAS citizen, so if you're Nigerian or part of the ECOWAS, you only pay $50 on arrival, right? If you are all other passengers from other countries, right, you have to pay $150. That is a lot of money. It then goes on to state that the payment for these on-arrival tests must be done online, right, at myfrontierhealthcare.com/home/Ghana, and a proof of payment of receipts shown to the airline before boarding. So you have to go to this website, pay on there, get your receipts, and actually show that proof of payment when you're boarding your flight to Ghana. So it then goes on to state more here, point L. Airlines who board passengers without the proof of payment of the COVID-19 test and would or could not pay for the test in Ghana will be fined $3,500 per passengers. So basically, if you don't, wow, they're finding people. The fines that Ghana is literally not playing. That they will find the airline $3,500 if people don't show that they've paid for this COVID test. Then gives a sub information under this that non-Ghanaian passengers may be refused entry and returned to the point of embarkation to the cost of the airline, essentially stating that they might also even deport non-Ghanaians, right, to go back to their country, and the airline will have to pay for that. Point M, all arriving passengers who test positive for COVID-19 will undergo mandatory isolation and treatment at the designated health facility or isolation center at a cost to passengers except Ghanaian citizen. Oh my goodness. They're basically saying that if on arrival, right, they do their rapid test and they find out that you are COVID positive, you're going to have to go for mandatory isolation and treatment. So Ghana is basically saying, don't try and use fake results for us, because when you come in and we find out you're positive, you're going to go into isolation and you're going to pay for it, right? It obviously exempts Ghanaian citizens. He goes on to talk about, this isolation. It says the isolation will be for a period of 7 days, right? However, the final discharges of cases will be based on existing case management guidelines and protocols. Point N, all passengers who test negative for COVID-19 will be required to continuously adhere to COVID-19 safety protocols and will receive regular information on COVID-19 within 5 days of arrival in Ghana. O, passengers who test negative will be advised to continue to observe COVID-19 safety protocols following arrival in Ghana. P, we're getting to the end, guys, so don't worry. Be patient. For passengers who transit through other countries before arriving in Ghana, the first country of departure will be the reference point, right? So I mentioned this before, but it states here that connecting flights should not deny passengers boarding if the journey has not been terminated in any of the transit countries, right? Stating that as long as you've not ended your journey or broken your journey up, if you're transiting, it's fine. So don't worry about that. So point 3, specific information for transit passengers. It states Passengers transiting and transferring through Accra will not be required to take the COVID-19 test in Accra. What does this mean? If you're transiting, you're just traveling through Accra, right? You don't have to take that in-country COVID test at the airport. Point B, it states that transit passengers will be required to adhere to the COVID-19 testing requirements for the destination countries, right? So they focus on the destination countries, not the requirements for Ghana. It doesn't apply. Point 4 talks about exemptions, right? Who are exempted from these rules? A, it states that airline crew are exempted from the pre-departure and arrival COVID testing and should follow the airline policy for testing, right? Point B, children under 5 years of age will not be required to undergo testing on arrival at the Kotoka International Airport. So if your child is under five, you don't have to undergo testing at the airport. It then states also that children between the ages of 5 and 12 will be tested free of charge upon arrival at KIA. That's lovely. That's actually quite nice and generous, right? Point D, passengers who arrive under emergency circumstances, such as a diverted flight, will not be required to undergo testing if they do not leave the airport or remain in isolation in their hotel. That is another considerate point, right? Because people will not have factored or paid for that. So that makes complete sense. It then goes on about point 5, traveling with pets, if you're traveling with animals, right? Traveling with pets into Ghana is allowed in line with guidelines of the Veterinary Services Directorate of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. Point 6, airlines with landing rights in Ghana. It states A, no airline should bring passengers into Ghana without first pre-validating their TT code, received from a TT lab or TC issued online after a genuine PCR test result has been uploaded and analyzed with the PANA BIOS or Global Haven software. Point B, airlines must issue TCs on behalf of illiterate travelers who arrive at check-in with only their genuine PCR test results. Again, airlines that fail to comply with these rules will be surcharged $3,500 again per passenger. Point 7, right? This talks about the pre-departure process. Passengers intending to exit Ghana. So for all travelers that are thinking about leaving Ghana, what is the protocol, right? It states here clearly that all international departing passengers will be required to meet the following guidelines prior to departing. 1, A, create an account on the AU endorsed site. That's the trustedtravel.panabios.org. On the check-in page, check for accredited laboratories by entering Ghana as your country of origin. B, passengers are advised to visit only laboratories that have the trusted travel logos next to their name on the platform to take their PCR test. So they're basically advising you on which particular labs you should go to take your test. At the laboratory, give the same email address and mobile number you entered when creating your PANA BIOS account. D, once your result is ready, it will automatically appear in the account with the TT number issued by the lab. Look out for an email from admin@panabios.org or an SMS message. Point E, the trusted travel test TT code shall be verified, right, by airlines and port authorities to confirm that the test came from an accredited lab. So basically, when you're leaving Ghana, you actually need to have this TT code that's going to be verified, I guess, when you're checking in, when you're leaving. So this is actually very, very important, right? Now coming to the last segment, point 8, the departure process, passengers exiting Ghana, right? It states A, all Ghanaians 18 and above traveling out of the country are to be fully vaccinated 0000 hours at 14th December 2021. Basically saying that for you to leave Ghana, right, if you're Ghanaian, you have to be fully vaccinated from the said date. Again, it explains what exactly is fully vaccinated, the definition of fully vaccinated. It states that a person is said to be fully vaccinated when he or she has taken the full dose of vaccines that have been approved and registered by the FDA Ghana. He or she has taken the full dose of vaccines that are on the World Health Organization emergency use listing. Point B, passengers will be required to adhere to COVID-19 testing requirements for the destination countries. So don't forget again, ensure that you have the requirements for your destination countries on tick, right? C, departing passengers will undergo temperature screening at the entrance of the Terminal 3 departures. Point D, only passengers and persons with business in the terminal will be allowed entry. They're basically stating that only passengers that are traveling are going to be allowed into the airport. This is actually a great point to highlight because I know we had issues in Nigeria whereby a lot of people were complaining that, they won't allow you into the airport. Ghana is the same. Ghana is saying that only passengers, right, can travel, like can go inside the airport. You can't bring your family and friends, right? So that's important to know that it's not just a Nigeria thing. It's also a Ghanaian thing. But I guess, yeah, let's forget about Nigeria for now. This is Ghana. Point E, online check-in or the use of self-service kiosks is strongly encouraged to reduce physical contact at the airport, right? And final, point F, passengers are advised to arrive at the airport at least 4 hours before your scheduled departure time. I guess this gives enough time to go through all the protocols and whatnot. And it has a final sort of comment here. It states, passengers must wear their face mask appropriately, extending from the nasal bridge to halfway between the chin and the neck, and advised to regularly use any of the hand sanitizing stations provided in the terminal. Additional information and guides can be accessed on the Ghana Health Service and Africa CDC website at the www.africacdc.org/trusted-travel. It then states that customer service and technical support can be reached by the Global Haven at panabios.org. Wow, that was a mouthful. That was a lot, right? But extremely, extremely important. And it's clear that Ghana is not playing around with this COVID-19 travel protocols. They're giving heavy fines to airlines that are bringing passengers without the right information, right? They're also making it clear that if you want to come into Ghana, you have to be vaccinated. Like, you'll be vaccinated at the point of entry, whether you like it or not. That's what they're saying. Essentially, don't come to Ghana if you're not fully vaccinated or you don't want to be vaccinated. That's what they're saying. I really hope this information has been super helpful to global travelers that are thinking about going to Ghana, but especially for my Ghanaian people that obviously watch my channel. I'm so happy to create this video for you guys so that we're all so much more informed. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate your support. Let me know in the comments section what your thoughts are, your feelings are with regard to this new rules and so just this detailed information that you're getting. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you once again. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if I'm not saying that again. And yes, I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.